What is up, everyone? MarsJ8 here, back again with 2019. I know, it's been quite a while, but trust me, I'm going to still make videos and stuff like that, but I am going to change things up a little bit at my channel. For one thing, videos are going to decrease in their frequency simply because the amount of content that I can make around those kind of videos that I used to has decreased dramatically. I want to make more my own original content, my own, me talking about different subjects and stuff like that. That's kind of what I want to focus on as of now, but I'll still make that kind of content for, like the music and gaming news and stuff like that. That's not going to go anywhere. It's just I need to have content to actually work with, and I need to be able to be inspired to work on. I can't keep hitting on a burnout and then just giving up on it and be like, this just ain't going to work. And like I said, content for that kind of stuff is becoming more and more harder to find. Alternative press has become like a cesspool of just bullshit posts and stuff like that about media, entertainment and stuff like that, instead of, alternative music. I don't know what the hell happened to them. I think they need to fire a shit ton of their staff and actually bring back people who actually give a shit about the evolving music scene. But as of now, what I'm going to be focusing on now until more content is available, until I actually have stuff to talk about, I'm just going to be focusing on making things that, I can talk about, things that I find interesting. And I wanted to start things off in 2019 with something even a little bit more different than that, because this is kind of like an open letter to a lot of YouTubers who would make videos about Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I know I'm a little bit late about this, but they're making these videos over a basic red dot site that was placed in the black market and then sold for 100 CP, which is valued at $1. And I'll straight out say that I'm completely with them with this being a slimy microtransaction, and that these ridicules have been universally used as in-game unlockables in previous Call of Duty titles, and so the fact that they were torn out and slapped to the market is absolutely disgusting, okay? I want to clear that up right away, but that's not really what I want to talk about in this video. What I want to talk about is some of the misinformation that they have been spreading, because I know that they value the truth, and it's only fair to point this kind of stuff out. Now, a number of these YouTubers are saying that Activision has some of the worst microtransactions of 2018, which, okay, that's completely their opinion, and I'm not going to accuse them of being hyperbolic. All I'm saying is that, in terms of microtransaction trends, I think Activision is at least allowing their developers to move in a better direction than companies, say, like EA, Bethesda, or Take-Two. They are greedy and disgraceful, no doubt about that, but, hell, at least they're allowing their developers to at least experiment with these microtransactions. And they've been some of the fairest we've seen in Call of Duty games in quite a long time. The fact that we go from Call of Duty World War II, which had loot boxes into it, a heavy emphasis on the loot boxes, to Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is almost completely devoid of them, instead opting for a progression tier system or just straight out purchases, can't be denied. Straight out purchases of cosmetics has been something that we have been asking for instead of loot boxes for quite a long time now. I'm not going to defend the practices since this is a full AAA title game, but I'm also not going to lie and say that this isn't a better alternative. I think it is, Now, that is entirely my own subjective opinion, but where the misinformation starts coming from them is when they start talking about the battle pass and the grind that it is actually involved in progressing through it. And this is a number of YouTubers have been talking about this stuff. Like you have YongYea, you have PrinceCleanGaming, and you also have Boogie2988. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not throwing shade at any of these YouTubers. I highly enjoy all of their content. YongYea in particular is somebody who I have a deep respect for his no bullshit approach to slimy microtransactions and shady corporate practices. I think he does a great job of that. But at the same time, the truth needs to come first, and there are some things that these YouTubers have been saying that is simply untrue. I'm also going to touch upon the strange pedestal that YouTubers are placing on Fortnite when it comes to Black Ops 4 and how to handle their tier progression system, where I find Fortnite's practices can be just as slimy as Activision's. And I'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk about what they're not getting right. So, unfortunately, the information on how the Black Ops Battle Pass progression system these YouTubers are sharing is simply outdated. Almost all of them are talking about the system that was used in last season's tier rather than this season's tiers, which has been altered in such a way that it's by far a lot more fair to players in terms of progression speed. And of course, I will be presenting proof. Alright, So there is this reoccurring theme throughout each of these videos saying that the tier progression system is painfully slow, taking over 200 to 400 hours just to complete, and that the only most ridiculously devoted Call of Duty players will even have the remote chance of getting near the top tiers, while everyone else is forced to pay out hundreds of dollars just to complete the entire season's tier. I'm here to say that is complete and total bullshit. For one, Treyarch severely reduced the tier size down to 100 tiers this season rather than 200, which dramatically cuts down on the progression time needed in order to complete the entire season. Each day is also unlocked through daily tier skips, which all you have to do to get that is a victory in multiplayer, earn merits in Blackout, or get 15 rounds in Zombies. And then you instantly unlock the next tier progression without actually losing any of the progression that you've currently made. That bar doesn't disappear. It automatically goes over to the next tier. Now, with all that being said, I have about 29 hours into this game. I got it a little bit late in November, so, I didn't start really playing until the second season. I currently have 29 hours into this game, and I am by no means whatsoever an amazing player, nothing extraordinary, and by most accounts, just a casual player. Here is my current multiplayer time, which is a little over 12 hours. Okay, it was actually 13 hours, and my total time is around 30, so forgive me for that, but the point still remains. Next, let's check out my entire Blackout time played, which is a little over 17 hours. Now, given this information and the progression speed that these YouTubers are talking about, you would think that I'm around tier 16 or something. When in actuality, I am... With those current times, I was at tier 48 out of 100. I say with those current times because I'm currently around tier 60, but I haven't really checked my times yet for it. But I'm nearly halfway through this entire season, with plenty of time left in order to complete it. The fact of the matter is I think Treyarch agreed with the fans and made a major overhaul, not only with the season tier size, but also with the amount of progression you earn per match. And if you think that's a lot, take this into consideration. I play way more Fortnite than I do Black Ops 4, and I am neck and neck. Actually, no, at this point, I've passed Fortnite in terms of tiers for Black Ops 4. So I play Fortnite more, but I am a higher tier in Black Ops 4. I will leave that there. I'll definitely get back to that in a little bit when we talk about that strange pedestal that the YouTubers have been putting on. But I also want to say to some people that this grind might still be too tedious, and I completely understand that. This game has issues to it. One of those I think right now is that the specialist and multiplayer feel unbalanced in a sense where they give new players an easier option to get kills. I mean, I play Nomad a lot, and I'll be the first one to admit that his dog Juno is a complete tank. Like, the amount of bullets that dog eats, yeah, that's no dog. That's a Terminator right there. And then you have character specialists like Zero who basically punish good players by stealing their streaks. That's not OP or anything. That's not unfair or anything. But you also have Blackout, where these matches can last 20 to 30 minutes with not a whole lot of action in between them. And when action does start happening, it could last for 2 minutes. I know that some Call of Duty players, that might feel like a complete drag. I also hear that armor just feels overpowered to people at times, and there really isn't some sort of balanced counter to it, even when you have high-powered weapons like the VKM 750, which is a 50 cal machine gun. But I'm getting off topic at this point. Some of the YouTubers also mentioned that reserves, which was something equivalent to loot boxes, could be gained after unlocking some tiers. They mentioned that they are currently in the game, which, they were in the last season's tiers progression. They are not in this season's tier, though. So there were loot boxes in this game, and they may return in the future, but as of right now, they are not in the game. So that is incorrect information. Now let's get onto the strange pedestal I've been mentioning about this Call of Duty / Fortnite comparison, because I saw a lot of YouTubers using this as an example of how to do a tier progression system right. So again, I have to adamantly point out that I find Black Ops 4 progression system right now seems to be faster than Fortnite's. And this is also including the daily and weekly challenges that Fortnite provides with its premium Battle Pass. Also, I have to point out that the premium Battle Pass for Fortnite does have an entry fee to it, which, yes, it can be earned back via leveling through the tiers, but unless you plan on grinding through countless hours in a number of seasons, you do have to pay the pass in order for the initial entry into it. This premium pass also provides you an additional weekly challenges that speeds up the tier progression and awards you enough V-Bucks, the in-game currency, to afford the next pass, but it's still valued at $9.50, and we'll just round it up to $10 since you can't outright purchase that. Black Ops 4 is completely open to everyone from the moment that you buy that game, and in my opinion, it contains better stuff. I also want to debunk their supposed strongest argument with Fortnite being a free-to-play game. No. Fortnite as a whole is not a free-to-play game. The most popular game mode on Fortnite is free, but even then you still have the premium battle pass costing around $10 for newcomers to access each season. But the entire Fortnite package, in order to get that, including a Save the World mode, which you're going to be looking at paying around $30 to $150 depending on which version you pick up. And yes, Save the World mode does have a slight impact on Battle Royale mode, regardless of whatever the game says, because other than the Battle Pass, this mode is the only other alternative for players to earn the in-game currency V-Bucks other than pulling out their wallets and buying them. And I do need to point out that while these YouTubers are using Fortnite as a beacon, they fail to acknowledge that the Save the World mode, which is a PvE campaign mode, has loot boxes in them in the form of loot llamas, which can be purchased with V-Bucks, which V-Bucks can be purchased with real money. These are also not normal cosmetic loot boxes. They are loot boxes that actually have cards in them for schematics for weapons, traps, and various characters that have an impact on gameplay progression. That said, the same can be said about various versions of that game that you can purchase. The most expensive version gives you 109 different loot llamas and extra inventory space. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 does not have anything similar to this throughout their entire experience, or in any of their other versions, or any of their deluxe versions, excuse me. The most that they do is give you bonuses for experience and CP points, as far as I've seen. And other little, cosmetic stuff like that. None of it is loot boxes, and none of it has, pay-to-win mechanics attached to it. At this point, I'm going to get a little bit subjective. Actually, I'm going to be subjective. But I do want to say that at the end of the day, the value of anything is in the eye of the consumer, and that it's 100% their choice on what they feel is or isn't a vile microtransaction practice. These YouTubers also seem to ignore the insane amount of V-Bucks that are required in order to purchase skins, one of the hottest commodities in Fortnite, and just the amount that needs to go into them. The Nevermore set that I saw the other day was valued at $56. That's to get both the skins, the glider, and the pickaxe. How about the fact that these skins and pickaxes are generally valued at $12 to $20, and these are just cosmetics. But no, apparently the special orders in Black Ops 4, which are just cosmetic bundles, which comes with a pretty detailed skin, a gesture, tags, stickers, and war paint, are all valued at $8. That's for the entire bundle, $8. And some effort to actually unlock them, but no, that's the fucking problem. No, that's a joke argument right there, and they know it. Using one company's shitty microtransactions to grandstand another's is the same exact bullshit biasm that I watch lead to almost no noticeable backlash against GTA Online. And it's the same bullshit that when I tried talking about it, I got shit on by the GTA community for being ignorant about the shark card issue until that game was actually fucking engulfed by it. So I don't like the fact that these YouTubers are actually grandstanding Fortnite's microtransaction practices over Call of Duty Black Ops 4. By all means, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has better microtransaction, and I don't want to hear this bullshit that, it's a $60 full price game. Okay, that's fine. Okay? You could end up spending $60 on 3 fucking skins in Fortnite. I also think Boogie was claiming that Overwatch has things figured out with their microtransactions. And I'm sorry, Boog, but no. The way that Overwatch is handling their system of gating skins is a joke, especially compared to how Black Ops 4 is handling theirs. Overwatch may not be the main culprit of loot boxes. That honor actually goes to EA and FIFA. But they are definitely a catalyst to why this has become such a normalization in the gaming community. You might disagree, and that's completely understandable, but all I'm saying is that at least I know what I'm fucking purchasing in Black Ops 4. At least I know which skin I'm buying. And at least I'm buying the skins that I want, and I don't have to throw down $20 in Black Ops 4 in order to try and get a chance of landing the Sugar Plum Fairy Mercy skin that I really wanted, or enough coins to afford it, out of loot boxes. So no, I don't think Overwatch is in any way, shape, or size at all comparable to how Black Ops 4 handled their microtransactions. Plus, Overwatch is a $60 game as well. He also tries to say that Overwatch, has a very good chance of going free to play, as rumor has it, this year. Okay, well, so does Blackout. Investors have been saying that Overwatch and Blackout are going free to play this year, so that's not really an argument either. I don't know. Like I said, this was more of the subjective part of it, and I do want to say that the most thing I want to focus on is the misinformation about the progression grind. That is where the main concern is. They are getting that information wrong. There is no way in hell that you need 200 to 400 hours to progress through that tier system. That is a blatant lie. Or I shouldn't say it's a lie, because a lie is implying that they know that it's misinformation. I don't know that. I was just going to say that's blatantly false information. But that's my video for this year. Welcome to 2019. Hopefully we have a ton of awesome videos for you guys. With that being said, please feel free to, actually, you don't even have to leave a like if you don't want to. That's fine. This first video of 2019. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will see you all on the next one. Mars out.